So it's only been a week.
Only been a week. We came back very quickly this time.
We did. And the reason for that is because the last time we were here,
It's exciting.
it was exciting. But last time we were here, we worked with the waste management company to schedule a pickup for this week of some bulky items, appliances, all the electronics. Yes. This week is all about getting some of these large items picked up and out of the house.
And this is exciting because this is the first removal of very big items that will be leaving the property.
The first of many, I'm sure.
The first of many, but it's the first one, which makes it extra special.
It is. It just feels like, okay, we've painstakingly going through things. I keep saying we. Tammy has been painstakingly going through all the contents of the house and trying to figure out what is in here, what's in every drawer, what's in every, and we're finally at that point now where, okay, now we've got a good sense, we've got a handle on it. This is trash, this is recycling. And so having this first round of stuff removed from the house, the big items, it feels pretty special and like we're actually making progress.
Yes. We do have some prep work because we have to take the stuff out to the curb ourselves.
Yep.
But before we do that, you have a little bit of prep work to do. Yeah,
so we have to get the items out of here and into our driveway on the side of the house. But at the end of the driveway, there's a very large, huge horse chestnut tree, beautiful tree, but it's got some very low hanging branches. And they use a type of truck, I don't know what you call it, but it has like pinchers, like a crane arm. They reach down, pick up the items, and then put them on the truck. So in order to do that, they need a certain amount of clearance, and those branches
have to go.
Yeah, they're going to be in the way. So I've obviously got a chainsaw and the tools to do so, but I'm going to have to go ahead and get those cleared this week. So that was something we also wanted to come down in advance and make sure that was ready. So
it was prepped and ready to go. It will be nice to have some space because once we eliminate all this stuff, we can continue to stage trash. We can continue to really create some more room for ourselves because right now everything is just so packed.
Yeah, it's like you can't see the forest for the trees. Yeah. So getting a few things out of our way is going to help a lot, I think.
Yep.
So first pickup of many, but we're excited. So
all right.
You ready to get started?
Ready to get started.
Our first order of business is always to open up the villa. We hear constantly how the villa was abandoned for 60 years, and some of our neighbors who have lived their entire lives in this village have told us that they have never even seen the shutters open. Everyone that passes by stops to tell us how happy they are when we return and open everything up. Even though our bulky waste pickup isn't until later this week, I decided to make trimming the trees away from the driveway my first priority. I have been waiting for an opportunity to use my new pole trimmer, and today is the day I get my chance. We were already planning to remove a few of these low-hanging branches. Not only are they hanging too low, but some of them are nearly touching the villa. And as it turns out, I will be very glad I did this today and didn't put it off any longer. While I'm at it, I decide to trim back the laurels that line the driveway. We love that the property is absolutely full of these laurel trees, and these will make a beautiful hedge someday. But like so many things on the property, they haven't been tended to properly and just need to be cut back a little to allow them to fill in. In preparation for the bulky trash pickup later this week, I've purchased this handcart to make things just a little easier. While Tammy possesses a strength and toughness that would surprise most people, I do think having the right equipment is going to be essential. After all, it is only the two of us, and I would be lying if I said we weren't just a little apprehensive about moving some of these large, heavy items by ourselves. This handcart, along with a couple of furniture dollies, should do the trick. This room of the villa is peculiar. For one, it has its own exterior door on the front of the villa, something that isn't very typical and likely not original. It's also the only room in the villa that contains modern ceramic floor tiles, and it has a small sink in the back corner. When we were purchasing the villa, we were told by the sellers that this room once served as a bank for the community. However, in talking with our neighbors, we've learned it wasn't really a bank in the traditional sense. Everyone agrees that it was an office of some sort in the early 1900s, but there doesn't seem to be complete agreement on what services were actually provided here. In recent years, however, it appears this room was simply used for storage. And because several of the items here will be picked up later this week, we need to start getting it organized. I don't know exactly how much time I'll have to work on the land this trip, so I'm eager to get out and see what I can accomplish before I start preparing for the bulky trash pickup. While I have two different blade attachments for my trimmer, I haven't needed to use them yet. Most of this vegetation in the olive grove is made up of grasses and wild fennel, both of which are easy work for the string trimmer. The string is also much more forgiving when encountering the numerous rocks, pieces of tile, and glass bottles that are lying hidden in the grass. But unfortunately, I am beginning to run into a part of the land that is much thicker with brambles, vines, and even some small acacia trees. I may need to leave this for later when I have more time and just focus on the areas that are easier to clear.
I'll keep checking and see if Marco gets back to me with the schedule. I don't think he has yet. Tomorrow morning.
So, we just learned that the bulk pickup is coming earlier than we anticipated. A day earlier?
Yes.
A day earlier. So that alters our day today, though. We've got to get it all out and staged.
Okay. So what I'm going to do then is we keep doing what I'm doing here just to finish up until lunch.
Okay.
It's 11.
Okay. I'm going to finish in here.
And then after lunch,
We'll
I say
switch to getting things out,
it's all about, okay.
which I'm pretty excited about.
At least everything will be cleared out a whole day earlier. We'll have a whole
Yeah.
day in the house without that stuff in the way.
But that's why we were here. So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Marco.
This is the day we have been waiting for. The day we finally start removing some of these larger items from the villa. While we were caught off guard by the earlier than expected pickup date, we are still very excited to start getting this stuff out of our way.
Okay.
First big piece coming out of the house.
I'm going to pull it back into the
Okay.
spot right here.
Perfect. Coming down, you're good. Good, you're good. Okay, we're clear. You can set it down.
All right, clear.
Hey, just like that.
Okay, time out. Now that we're starting to clean out the villa, I think we should address a few questions. First of all, when we purchased the villa, we did actually meet the sellers who had inherited the property. And they assured us that they had already gone through the entire villa and removed everything that was of importance or value to them. They even made a point to tell us they purposely left us many photos and documents that they thought we would find interesting. Now, we may never know why they left the things they did, and honestly, that's not our story to tell. We still have so many questions about the villa and the items we're discovering, and cleaning out all of these bulky items feels like we're removing those obstacles that stand between us and the answers. Once those distractions are removed, we can once again turn our attention to some of these more interesting items in the villa and the stories they may reveal. All right, where were we?
First piece out of the house.
Kind of think
Because all this goes.
all it has to go, but I think we put this next to the other one because there's very little level ground out there,
It's a good idea.
and because they're so top heavy and no one falling over.
Three.
Okay.
Okay, and then towards you. 1, 2, 3. You good?
It's not quite as heavy as the other one.
Yeah. It actually is a little bit lighter, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm clear.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
More towards your left.
Yep.
Got it. Perfect. Alright, do one in first.
Yep.
Okay, of the street. Got it. Alright. Okay.
So all of this goes here.
All of it goes.
This is a heavy microwave.
Yes.
Where we want to put
Right
it.
here for now.
Propane tank I need to take out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, it's gonna fit through the door.
You know what? Probably not. No.
No. I can hold the legs. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, I know.
We weren't surprised when someone stopped by to inspect some of the items we put out. It seems he's interested in one of the refrigerators, even though we don't even know if it works. When he asks if we will help him place it on the roof of his car, we politely decline. That just does not seem like a good idea. So instead, he decides to see if he can make enough room inside his car.
Yep.
After removing nearly all the contents from his car, including the rear seats, it appears he's made enough space. And so we happily agree to help him load it inside rather than on top.
How about I just don't argue with you?
Don't argue with me. And it's like
Now that the appliances are out, it's time to focus on a few pieces of upholstered furniture that we've decided must be removed. Now, we already know this is going to be controversial, and we realize that some of these items may appear to be worth keeping. But we assure you, they are not. We're both disappointed that these pieces aren't in better condition, as we rather like the style of some of them. Besides the fact that most of them have broken frames, missing legs, and are infested with woodworms, the upholstery has also been absorbing moisture and odors for decades. There are many beautiful pieces of furniture in the villa, and we'll find good homes for all of them. But unfortunately, these just need to go.
It did. Okay. Whew.
Comes.
Okay. Done.
Full of water or something. It is a monster. Oh, interesting. It rotates.
It goes sideways.
Oh, it has these like little doors.
Yeah.
So it's like a front load type, goes sideways, but you load it from the top. Oh, interesting.
Oh, that sucker's heavy.
What cannot be effectively conveyed in a video is odor. When purchasing a home as old as this one, you expect there to be the typical old house smells. The smell of old wood, old fabrics, even a musty or stale smell from being closed up for so long. But this villa is more pungent than most, and for a few reasons. Not only was it closed up for 6 decades, but it also suffered from several roof leaks and a significant amount of moisture entering from the ground below. Much of the clothing was packed in mothballs, which give off an odor that is very strong and difficult to describe to someone that has never smelled them.
And on the floor.
Okay.
And then there's the smoke. On the ground floor, we have 2 wood-burning stoves that were not properly vented, and someone who lived in the house in the past was obviously a very heavy smoker. A few of the rooms have so much smoke damage that the walls have turned a dark yellow. When we first entered the villa, it was hard to even breathe in these rooms. And now, all of these contents are holding in those odors. While the neighbors are happy to see the house open, they have also been commenting on how they can smell the house all the way down the street. So, hopefully, once we get these mattresses out, the villa will begin to smell much better.
Cleaning the floor.
Some of these mattresses are very old and covered in stains. Most of them are filled with wool, but a few of the oldest ones appear to be filled with some type of straw material. I must admit, they are interesting, and the craftsmanship is exceptional. But I'm still not sleeping on any of them.
Is this straw?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Hurts the body. Not that I know what that's like.
We decide the quickest and easiest way to get these mattresses into the driveway is to simply toss them out the window.
We made it. Made it all the way to the ground.
This proves to be way more fun than we expected.
That's pretty awesome. It's pretty satisfying. Oh, this Mac Daddy. Oh, duh. Let's just pull it.
Ta-da!
I love that. That's awesome.
Very light.
Buonasera. Sì, benvenuto. Sì, sì, sì. Yeah, sì, certo.
We are pleased to see people stopping by and asking if they can take some of the items that are of interest to them. As they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
That was brilliant.
Okay, I'll go down and get it.
And last. Professionals work.
I mean, it works. That's the way you want to do it.
If you want to go downstairs and get a hammer, you can.
Get out the window.
Handle there. That was pretty awesome. Foam.
Yeah.
Oh, our last one's gonna give us trouble. Oh, crooked. Okay.
This is the same thing. It's gonna go. I'm gonna shoot it out. I'm gonna shoot it. Okay, I'm gonna shoot it. Ready?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Uh-huh. Brilliant. See, you did not want to throw things out the window.
I never said
And
that.
now I
I
can't
never
get you to
said that.
stop.
I love throwing things out the window.
I'm like, throw it out the window. You're like, you can't throw it out the window. Oh, you're gonna have to kind of lower this one. Lower it down with your arm. Don't shoot it out.
Why?
I don't know.
It's all fun and
Yeah.
games until someone breaks a window.
Oh, bummer. Okay.
In addition to the 15 mattresses we threw out the window, there were 5 more downstairs that we carried out. That brings the final total to 20.
Today is a very exciting day.
No, today is a very disappointing day.
Today is the day of our first bulk trash pickup.
Yes. The day that we prepared all day yesterday for by
yesterday.
cleaning out 20 mattresses,
20 mattresses.
2 ovens, 2 refrigerators.
Radiators.
And-
We did the whole
Yeah,
whole thing. Everything
yeah.
we've told you about. We've got it all out of the
It was a
curb.
lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
And the payoff was supposed to be this morning.
Yes. So the bulk trash is going to come between 8 and noon. So we got up extra early, and we got here at 7:30. And what did we find?
It was all gone.
It had already been picked up.
Yeah. So disappointing.
You had so many great plans
Yeah.
to video it.
Yeah, we were like, oh, this is going to be great. We'll get, some video of the truck with the picker arm, lifting everything up, putting it on the truck. It was going to be really cool, really interesting. And then we get here and it's all gone already. So.
And all we're left with are the claw marks in the dirt
Yeah.
where the picker truck picked up everything. I wanted to see how that worked.
Yeah, I'm disappointed, one, because I thought it would make great video, but 2, because I was just really curious. I love these things. I wanted to see how it works. But
I'm so sorry.
I know. So, like I say, very disappointing start to the day, but
Success.
success, yes. We can't lose sight of that. And I said this, I think, yesterday, but I'm not going to complain when things happen sooner or earlier than you thought they were going to
And
happen.
better than we
That's great.
anticipated.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we obviously did everything correctly. We put everything out right.
Good work.
They had room to work. We trimmed the branches for them, so obviously that wasn't an
Yes.
issue.
Yes.
And everything was gone. So success. So
Success.
yeah, we should be celebrating.
We should.
But instead, I'm just disappointed. Just all I feel is
The
disappointment.
good news is we have so many more bulk trash pickups coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was probably only 10% of what we're going to have taken
Yeah.
out. So,
It's a lot to do.
yeah, for sure. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll get back at it today. A few errands to run this morning, but then we're going to get back to work in the house, and I'm
Yeah.
going to be out in the Olive Grove, I think.
I'm going to focus on paper because Saturday is paper recycling.
Paper
I'm going
recycling.
to try and get as much as I can out of the tiny house.
Okay, perfect. This was one of our shorter visits to the villa, but arguably one of the most productive. It also marks a real turning point in the project. For weeks, we have been focused on exploring, uncovering, and ultimately understanding what we had purchased.
One down.
But now, we're moving into the next phase. We are actively cleaning out the villa in anticipation of the upcoming renovation work. So, while there is still much of the land to uncover, it is no longer a priority. It's clear that starting now, the main priority is to combine our efforts to remove all the contents from the villa. So, I reluctantly put aside my trimmer and shift my focus to helping Tammy process all the documents from the cassette tape. As we sit here, side by side, outside our Tuscan villa, surrounded by the sounds of birds, cicadas, and the occasional tractor driving by, we can't help but think what a unique experience this is, and just how grateful we are to be here.